Hello YouTube, welcome back to PanzerCorps the Africa Corps campaign. This is the Suez Canal scenario. I want to say this is probably the 10th scenario in the series, although don't hold me to that. I'm not currently looking at a list or anything, but pretty sure that's right anyway. Anyhow, let's get this started off and get going. This is one of my favorite levels, and it is still very difficult, but it's a lot of fun. Because the difficulty of this level is not to the point where you want to rip your hair out trying to figure out how to get a victory. You can actually get a victory somewhat easily and enjoyably. And to me, that's kind of important. Does that make sense? So, oh wow, we got ambushed there and took 0 damage. Yet again, another good reason why the Stoogs are in use here. But this level is, for an Africa Corps campaign, it's really nice. You can see the pyramids, you can see the Sphinx. Here's Cairo, next to the pyramid and the Sphinx, so pretty neat. You can only cross the Nile in certain areas, so pretty cool. I'm moving those tanks that way because there is a counterattack that occurs in that area, and I just want to be as prepared for it as I can get. It's a pretty decent counterattack too. Of course, you know, that's not all that surprising. Nice. Yeah, that wasn't too good. Boom. Wow, 2 pretty decent artillery strikes there. Okay. So Churchill taking some pretty serious damage here. Oh, couldn't quite get him there. Wow. It's amazing how strong those Churchills are. Out of all the British tanks, the Churchills and the Matildas are the 2 hardest to take down. And apparently this anti-tank gun here is pretty nasty too. This 2-pounder here. Of course, he's really only hard to take down because of the artillery coverage. Which we're going to deal with shortly. Speaking of Matildas, there's a good one there. Guarding the bridge going into Cairo. Ouch. Pretty moderate casualties there. Okay. Even exchange. Not terrible. Excuse me. Alright, let's see. So this turn will be an aircraft turn, so we need to be careful. See if we can pause it here on their turn. There we go. Okay, so it's funny that this is off screen, but there are going to be some more fleet coming in, a couple battleships, etc., from the British trying to get to Alexandria here, and of course they want you to sink it before they do. You can take a look at Cairo, and while this doesn't look like much, believe me when I tell you it actually is. And the reason for this is not only the artillery coverage, but the fact that you can get killed in here by surrender very easily. I don't know why there's an artillery piece in this particular town, but there is, or whatever this is. Personally, I'd move my Churchill there and the artillery back and this Grant here with the artillery covering the Grant, but I don't know, that's just me. Anyway, once you can break through, and I usually run this way across the Nile up towards the top, it's a lot easier to go like this and in than it is to go directly like this. Now, you can do both, and that is the ideal situation. And I think to a certain extent I end up doing that, but this scenario, as you can see, you are not ever going to be able to land anybody over here and survive. This is the kind of massive reinforcements they literally have over here, and don't even dream of trying to get up here. I suppose you could. I suppose it's possible. I just think it's exceptionally unlikely. Now, if you had a turn where the weather was bad, and you could bring your paratroopers into this spot, maybe you would stand a chance, but I just don't see how you get through this artillery. So anyway, don't bother with that. Just take your main objectives and you should be fine, in case you're having a little trouble with this level. Anyway, let's keep going here. It's still their turn. Still the computer's turn, I should say. Ah, I didn't realize that's how they were getting across there. Oh, okay. It isn't completely how they're getting across. It's only one of the ways that they're getting across. And I should have moved that aircraft, but it says the Royal Navy is closing in. 6 killed is pretty good. Okay. Finally got rid of that Churchill. Oh wow. Gotta surrender out of that mobile artillery unit. I think it's like a priest or something is what they call that unit. Now attacking their 5-inch gun. He's now out of ammunition, so he cannot provide any more support. We're probably going to use a flame tank here. Yep. Flame tanks against artillery are extremely effective. Didn't force a second surrender, but we did well. Okay, so having at the cruiser here. Panzer 4G will take care of that cruiser. Ooh. Not having much luck against the Matilda though, although that's not surprising to anybody who knows how difficult they are. Be surprised, sometimes your infantry can really make a big difference with the Matilda tanks. Sometimes. Okay, got a Spitfire here, and looks like a Hurricane. This was our new unit that we obtained from the last mission. It's 109G. It was given to us for free because of the decisive victory of the last scenario. There's a little message here. I don't know if you can see it. When I record, it seems like you can't see this, so I'm going to go ahead and read it. It says, our ground forces are in risk of jeopardy. Wait, what? Our ground forces are in risk jeopardy of naval bombardment. I don't know if that makes sense. Press quickly towards Alexandria and maybe we can capture enemy vessels before they leave port or are scuttled. Okay. And what they're talking about is if you capture the port before the Navy gets there, you'll end up getting, I believe it's a submarine, although you don't get to keep it. I'm not saying it's not handy, because honestly it is handy, but... Okay. So that was pretty good. Trying to get this artillery unit damaged here as best we can. Oh wow, that was a really good artillery strike. That wasn't terrible, honestly. Alright. Two to 4, again, pretty decent. Not great, but... And our poor 109G here, our new guy, he doesn't have any experience, so he's getting pretty well hammered. Wow. Matilda's still hanging on. Still hanging on. Finally got rid of that Matilda. What we really need to get rid of is the bridging engineers there, because they're going to be a big time nuisance for us. Okay, battleship's trying to give us a bit of trouble here. Trying to get in behind our line there. Stuart moving up. Pretty bad position for that Stuart though, so I'm not really too worried. Yeah, there you go. Unfortunately, being on the bridge is pretty much the worst place you can be. Now, if you have artillery support, it can be potentially an okay place to be. It's still not ideal, but at least it will help you try to cross, and that's what we really need right now. Okay. Trying to push these engineers off of this river here, the Nile. Ended up working, surprisingly. And the hurricane taking a lot of damage here. At least I think it's a hurricane, I can't really tell. Okay. Because there's an airport here, that's the reason I'm taking out this anti-aircraft. It will help me land aircraft there later on during the scenario, so it is worth taking out. Sometimes it's not, it doesn't really matter, but in this case it does. And we did capture Alexandria before the fleet was able to get there, about one turn before. So they just lost a pretty important port. In fact, in real life that would have been a devastating loss if that was really what happened. And you can tell by my movements that I don't realize they're in behind me here. Now I do. Oh wow, look at that. 3 more on top of that. Holy crap. You have acquired a submarine. Okay. Sink the Royal Navy ships. Sink them all. Mission objectives have changed. So this is going to slow me down a little bit here. Not to the point where it's going to really matter, to be honest. But it will slow me down nonetheless. So taking out that, I think it was a cruiser. Picking on the Grant. The Grant at this point is way, way outdated. He doesn't stand much chance of getting anything done against us at all. Decent artillery shots on the guy sitting in Cairo here. That could be a mistake right there, but we'll see. Okay. Oh, it's a bishop, not a priest. The artillery unit there in the middle between the 2 Nile River deltas, that's a bishop. Having our Italian friends in the back there shooting at the little destroyer. Okay. Battleship going towards Alexandria still. Here comes reinforcements for the counterattack. And our Ju-88A took care of the remaining battleship situation. Suppressing this guy a little bit here before we go for the attack. Definitely paid off. Killed almost all of them in one shot. They don't really have anything that's big enough to do much to us at this point, so it's virtually already over. Wow, that was actually pretty good for him. He got a decent kill there. Okay, so nothing bad happened with the infantry unit that I sent into Cairo, so we're not doing bad. Still trying to get rid of that bishop, which it looks like we will. Yep, there we go. Ugh. That artillery is really nasty. Ooh, unexpected encounter. And that is definitely a hurricane. He did not fare well against us there. A couple Spitfires, looks like. We use our own Spitfire and really deal some damage to him. That's one less aircraft we'll have to deal with. Gotta get rid of this Crusader here. And just the Steward is left from their attempt at flanking us, which failed. Alright, took out 2 aircraft this turn, so they've lost quite a bit already, comparatively to what we've lost, so... Nice. So we actually forced them out of that side of Cairo, and now we're preparing to get in there if we can. Okay. Trying to cross the Nile this way, just basically going around their equipment. Using my submarine for recon. Picking on our new 109G. Moved his Grant into Cairo. That doesn't really seem like a good idea. Interesting. I could have easily lost that infantry unit there, but luckily we didn't. Okay. Again, not great, but not terrible. Anti-aircraft unit destroyed. Oh, it did kill me. Still can't get that 109G to kill anything, really. Alright. Take down that Spitfire pretty much the hardest way possible, looks like. But we did manage to get him. He did deal some pretty significant damage to our aircraft. But we do have some anti-aircraft of our own now, so we're going to get some hits on him before he even hits us. He's sitting over Cairo right now. Nice. So the Grant taking 2 casualties and going into suppressed mode, causing him to retreat. Successfully crossed the river in the northern portion. And now we can bring the rest of our tanks forward, since that counterattack or flanking maneuver was destroyed. Okay. We got another Blenheim here that hit us pretty decently. Our anti-aircraft is basically lying in wait for these guys though, so I think they're both going to get destroyed here. Yep. We'll lose another 2 aircraft, which is pretty serious. And the Grant will have to retreat once again. Now, we did move into Cairo here. I don't know what kind of odds we have of that unit surviving, but I guess we'll find out. Hopefully I moved the artillery in behind him to provide support. Nope, it didn't. That would have been a better maneuver. Oh, get wrecked. Mosquito tried to pull a fast one, but didn't work. One more Spitfire in our way, yet again. See, I think we're going to lose this guy. Yeah, unfortunately we lost our infantry unit there. I'm not too happy about that. That was a kind of a poor decision on my part. As I said, you really don't want to go into Cairo unless you have the ability to not have that happen. And I didn't. So that was, again, that was a poor mistake on my part. Okay, that's pretty good. So they lost that anti-tank unit, that's good. Yes, surrender. So we did lose a guy, however, we also forced a surrender and gained attack +2 on a different unit, so wow, I'll move right into Cairo again. I might be able to survive this time though. Yes, he does have 2 infantry units and an artillery unit, however, that's really all he has. He doesn't have anything to move up and attack me with, so we might get lucky here. I suppose he could move that Churchill though, which he might do. Taking down the Mosquito. We're gonna go ahead and attack the Spitfire over here. Our Spitfire got attack +1, so that's pretty good. Yay, our bonus unit got some kills. Alright, so we weren't quite able to take him out, but we did bring him down to 1 strength. And he's almost out of ammunition, so he will be... Oh, no, I take that back. We had one last guy, and we did destroy him. Interesting. He didn't try to shoot the tank, he actually shot the infantry unit. I guess he feels the infantry unit's more dangerous. Yeah, that kind of sucks, but all in all, not bad. Same thing there. Ooh, not like that. Come on, don't kill him. Oh, man. 1 health. Is he gonna survive? Yes, he did survive. Wow. That's very, very lucky. Wow, rugged defense. Couldn't pass up the opportunity to attack their artillery here as he moved way too close. Trying to force another surrender here. Couldn't get it. Still trying to deal with this Churchill. I mean, he is a huge pain in the butt. As you can see, he just takes massive amounts of damage. Stug attacking from the Nile is not the best attack, but I figured it was better than nothing. And our flame tank delivering 1 more hit. Churchill will now be completely out of ammunition, so even if we can't destroy him... Oh, wow! So our half-track moved in and managed to get that kill. Yeah, there's 1 more ship. It's a light cruiser. And the counterattack from across the River Nile is definitely coming. Okay. We kill less artillery. These guys are toast for sure. So, alright. So it's going to be game over for these guys in Cairo. That reinforcements are not going to get there soon enough. We're probably going to break through. Defense +2. I like that too. Although on a tank it's not as useful, but still it does help against nasty attacks. Okay, 1 down, 1 to go. Oh wow. So that Panzer IIIN absolutely obliterated him. And Cairo's ours. I don't know, had the Nazis taken Cairo, I kind of feel like... I don't know if it would have ended the war in Africa, but it probably would have been... terms would have probably been discussed at that point, I think. Because if they would have gotten as far as Cairo and the Suez Canal, I don't know. I just don't see, and especially considering before this, that we took out Malta, and El Alamein, and Tobruk, basically all those holdouts that the English had, I just don't really see what they could do about this, so... Then again, I'm not sure that the Germans could have waged war quite like we are in the game either. I don't think they had the ability to do so. There's a lot of, you know, iffy things going on here, but you never know. Defense +1, so not bad. Obviously we want defense +3 if we can get it, but we'll take 1. Crusader absolutely devastating our Pioneer infantry there. And we return it in kind with our Stug. Sending the Crusader to the graveyard. And their scout car. That counterattack was, honestly, pretty poor decision. Although I guess he kind of had to try something, but it was repelled rather easily. And their bridging unit was destroyed there. Ouch. That did not work out well at all. Oh, I actually got a hit on that light cruiser. I like it. Moving up our anti-aircraft just in case. Moving all of our fighters to a newer position near Alexandria, which we probably should have done to begin with, but it's okay. Shooting the flame tank, that's interesting. No more light cruiser, he's absolutely destroyed. This anti-aircraft gun's giving us a little bit of trouble here. And we got him as well. So we have to cross the Suez Canal, which is not easy, I might add. You have to sit on the canal for an entire turn to cross it. And as you might have imagined, that is not exactly ideal, so... Apparently I knew that scout car was there. Good thing, too, because he could have easily got in behind us there. Moving our artillery around a bit here. Okay. This will be the end of this this coastal gun, or this gun emplacement. Okay, we do have some more equipment, so we'll definitely try to bring up. We are getting kind of light on turns here, so we do need to get this moved along if we can. Okay. Not bad. That was really good, actually. Spitfire really helped us out there. Really? That's pretty interesting. This MG in here is really putting up a fight. Of course, he is entrenched by 5, so I guess that does help quite a bit. Finally routing him, which will give us the ability to cross here. Did have another Crusader down there, of which he is trying to get. Wow. Okay. Interesting. While we took heavy casualties, he did as well, so I'm actually not too concerned about that. Okay, we're going to try to artillery this guy down. His entrenchment's all the way down to 2 now. Entrenchment 1 because we attacked, and this should be 0. So he's pretty much done for. With 0 entrenchment and a low unit strength, he's pretty much dead. So we will end up taking that port right away. All we have to do now is focus on this last port over here, and we'll be good to go. Okay, well, he put up a valiant fight there. The Crusader Mark III. Not a valiant enough fight, but you know, decent nonetheless. And once again, the half-track comes in for the kill. Pretty amazing. Okay, Grant trying to stop us from crossing over here. Ooh, that wasn't too good. And he did get a shot on our artillery, but he's going to pay for it with his life. And wow, nice. So defense +1 for our Italian artillery unit, which is very good for an artillery unit. And we also destroyed the anti-tank gun that attacked us. So there should be no more anti-tank guns in the vicinity. And we have lots of units crossing over now. It's pretty much over just because once we have this many units that are either crossed over or crossing over, they don't stand much of a chance in attacking us anymore, so even though those units are not at full strength, it's not going to matter. However, we do only have one more turn, so let's see what happens here. Bombing the anti-aircraft unit with our strategic bomber. Getting a little desperate here because of the lack of turns. Trying to slow their counterattack down here a bit. That'll probably force him back, yep. Almost destroying that Grant, coming very, very close. And very close to destroying the paratrooper unit too, so taking pretty heavy casualties here. I think we've got this in the bag. I don't see how they could stop us at this point. Gonna go ahead and retreat. There's no reason to continue the fight there with the artillery and take more losses. This is the last turn, so we have to take the port, which we do. Should be able to take him out too, with pretty little effort here. There we go. Pretty easy opportunity to attack his bishop there. And he got ambushed by our flame tank on the last turn. He did pretty well, even though he got ambushed, so. And there you go, guys. Decisive victory for the Suez Canal, one of my favorite Afrika Corps campaign scenarios. I think you will like it too if you get to this point. Even on Field Marshal, the scenario, even though I took it all the way to the last turn, I feel pretty confident that, and that was only a one playthrough, I didn't have to replay this scenario at all. It's not particularly hard as long as you understand what will happen and where. Even if you don't, like you could tell that I didn't know there was some guys behind me that backcapped a couple of my airfields and whatnot, you could still win. So I'll stop blabbing in here. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, share with your friends and all that good stuff. And I will catch you next time. And as always, have a good one.